Oh, think well.
Okay, but now I got the audio again. So, oh, last night I was getting some horses, breeding them. We're gonna go ahead and put them out. And got all this closed in. Got 4 horses at the moment. That's, I know I want to do more, but I'm gonna put all the name tags in there because I know I'll end up using them. Fence gates in there and some fencing just for shits and giggles. But the sheep are gonna get a tree right here in the middle. I already put down an anvil. Okay. So, I need to put that. Oh, what grass? What the grass? Yeah, you too. Hopefully not too many more there. The goal is to simply get more babies to grow up so I could have more cows in there at once. Oh, yeah. Put that away. So I watched a video all about enchanting and learning enchantments. So what I need to do is first put stuff away. Oops, not that. I watched a thing all about enchanting, and basically I need to learn how to do all the not all the enchantments, because I read some of them are pretty much effing useless, especially if you're in single player. So we're gonna get to that shortly. Make sure everything's put up. And I definitely want to multiply some of these carrots, so we're going to do that real quick. And as soon as I get this done, gonna start figuring out enchantments a little bit more. Like I need to figure out how to to set up the bookshelves in the best order. That's probably enough. Yeah, that's enough to cover a lot of fucking. So that really is the whole point, is to use gold carrots for breeding. Idea. Put a singular chest right here, specifically for situations like this. Where I'm about to make a shitload of one item. Is my door shut? Yeah. What I need to do is need nuggies. A shitload of them. Oh, damn. Damn. That did not produce very many. Where finished product goes. I need a lot of, so we're going to take an entire stack. Beans. More carrots. Carrots. Doggies. Carrots. Nuggies. Carrots. Nuggies. Oh, that's all of them. Okay. Bunch of carrots. Damn, I really don't use very many. Since obviously I made way too many carrots, but I could use them for planting later on. So we'll put them in there for now. That should be enough to last the duration of my horse breeding. Then, into here. Okay, so we're definitely going to need an experience farm.
Go ahead.
YouTube
Crank the
video real
volume.
quick.
We got you.
I really need a trident. Like, grab a boat. Not taking that because that's a pretty damn good pickaxe for. Definitely need that. Take a bundle just in case. That's so too. We're seeding a bed, so we're not gonna take it. Go ahead and re-up on the steaks. Okay. So I know there's some water over here. really that lucky? Well, holy shit. What are you doing out here? But I didn't end up needing. That or that. I really didn't expect to get a try it. And I'm just not even gonna fuck around. I'm gonna duplicate the fuck out of it. And no. Oh, it's so cool. So basically we're gonna duplicate it and then use the duplicated ones to repair each other until we have one in full good condition. Then I'll duplicate that to get a few. And once I have a couple of them, I'll go ahead and build an experience farm. Now I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're sure gonna try. gonna have to... I'm gonna use it, so I know I need a chest for tridents. Definitely need this sign. We're gonna try using the crappy one.
To make a potion of infestation, start by adding some blaze powder to your brewing stand, then add some bottles of water. Next, add a net.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning of the internet, there's never been such a fun, fast, and
overpowered this farm is. I've been making farms for over 3 years now, and this one is by far the strongest. Just in the time I've been talking to you guys, I've gone from level 0 all the way up to level 20 above that. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Here's how to build a farm. It is absolutely broken. It's pretty fun to watch, too. Oh my god, look at that. Now, the first thing I'm going to have you guys do for this farm is dig 3 blocks into the ground and then place down a sand. And we need to place a cactus here. So to do that, break all 4 of those surrounding blocks, place your cactus and then a composter on top. Then on the back side of the farm, place 3 blocks, again, making sure these aren't any of the blocks that you're seeing on your screen right now, followed by 2 more blocks on both of those sides. Then coming anywhere near the farm, doesn't matter where, just dig down another 3 blocks, and now what we need to do is get a zombie inside of this hole. And if you're wondering, the reason we do this is because when a zombie comes near an armadillo, it curls up in its shell, so it essentially can't die. Now, the easiest way to get a zombie inside of this hole is by placing 3 temporary blocks like this, and then waiting for it to turn nighttime. Now, all you need to do is lead a zombie over to this hole and then punch him up against those blocks so he falls in. Once he does, put a name tag on him so he doesn't despawn, and then a block over top of his head so he doesn't die when it turns daytime, and now you can go ahead and remove these 3 blocks. So once you've got your zombie down there, you should now see that all of your armadillos are curled up into their shell, so they're going to take a lot less damage, which is exactly what we want. And now what we need to do is get them inside of this composter, and the easiest way to do that is just by taking some rails and linking them all the way up right until you get to the composter, and then place down a minecart. Literally all you have to do is take these guys and push them into the minecart, and then push that minecart directly over top of the composter. And once you break it, they're supposed to fall into the composter. They might not. So just place it again, do that, and there you go. He now falls inside of that composter. Don't worry, he is taking damage. But again, since we got that zombie, these armadillos are never going to die. They're never going to despawn. They're basically trapped here forever, you monster. But anyways, once you're happy with how many armadillos you have, you can go ahead and break all of your rails. Now, believe it or not, those were actually the most difficult steps in this whole farm. We've only got a few more things left that we have to do. Real quick though, if your farm's not working or you just want to make sure it works before you actually build it, you can find the link to this exact world down in the description. And as well, if you're enjoying, like and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Who cares about all of that? Let's move on with the farm. So Coming to this block right here, what I'm going to have you guys do is place down a fence gate and then open it up. Then underneath that fence gate, break 2 blocks, place a piece of soul sand right there and a bucket of water right there. And this is going to create a type of bubble elevator. And then go ahead and place a water bucket right there. Now take a temporary block and place it down right there, followed by 2 slabs on top. They don't have to be slabs, but it's just the most minimalistic look. Then take 3 more blocks and place them like this. I'm going to use glass because I like seeing into the farm, but you can use whatever block you want. Again, as long as it's none of these on your screen. And the final thing you want to do is take a trapdoor and place it into that slab right there. So as of right now, if you throw that infestation potion, a bunch of silverfish are going to start to spawn. However, as you can see, they're not going to be dying to anything. So that's what we're going to work on right now, is using this harming 2 arrow. And by the way, if you guys want to know how to make this arrow or how to get the infestation potions, skip to the time on screen right now. Or if you want to kill them manually instead of using an arrow, you can skip to this time. You're of course going to need that potion of harming 2 and the arrow, which is what I'm going to show you how to make right now. And as well, I'll also show you how to make that infestation potion because of course you're going to need those to spawn the silverfish. You do need both of these for the farm to work, so I'd recommend watching this part of the video. Starting off with the potion of harming 2, this does have
Well, it appears that I have to do it kind of the old-fashioned way.
So up next, let's get a bit more
Nessie's built different. That's why he only runs on Duracell.
Power boost. Fit everyone in with iPhone 17 Pro.
materials that we need, and now let's go. The way we build this is very easy. We start out by placing down a double chest and then 4 hoppers all pointing into the chest. On top of these hoppers, we're now going to place down slabs, and around the slabs, we're going to make 1 ring of temporary blocks. I'm personally using dirt for this. Now, on top of these temporary blocks, we're now going to place 2 layers of normal building blocks. I personally use wood for this.
We just need chickens. So, you know what that means. That means overkill time. So, first off, we're gonna Angular post right there. Gates over here, which I need one. Okay. We're gonna put that stack of dirt in there. Hey, let's go on a chicken hunt. Where were y'all like the other day when I was, yesterday when I was just looking for cows? Nope, not chicken. There you are. Damn it, Roy. Where are you? Damn. did you get in here? That's for the armadillos, not fucking random ass chickens running around. Not chickens, sheep. Like, what the hell? Like, how? But you're kind of SOL, dude. Yeah. Any other time, like, if you're not looking for a chicken, you can find them there every 5 freaking steps. But when you're actually looking for one, they're almost impossible to find. Like, what the hell? Why do I have to go so far for you? Come on. Now we gotta make it all the way back while dodging mobs. Like, thanks. You're a giant help. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Okay. Damn it. Chicken. You can do it. I don't fucking with y'all. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna say screw the mobs. And we're going with a different plan. Gonna use a boat to see a cool horse or two, I'm gonna grab them. That was a cool looking horse that I saw whenever it was still daylight. Shit. Come here. Get in the boat. You know what? Not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna take it nice and easy. Even gonna I still have y'all. Come on. Let's find a gate to go through. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go get some of those planks. We're gonna make little place for them. I need the eggs to build a farm with. Supposedly an easy experience farm. So we're gonna try it out and test it out. See if it's worth a damn. Need more fence posts for that though. You know what? I don't care if it looks weird as shit. I'm totally gonna do it. I'm gonna put two gates on top of each other just So I guarantee you have a way in and out with upcoming chickens. So I'm probably going to well, shit. I throw one on top of it, maybe? I mean, not quite what I was after, but it's trying to do. Oops. But I have to leave them on leashes. Just so that otherwise they're going to want to run away. Can't have that, can we? We'll go ahead and do a smooth stone roof over their head. Already laid enough eggs to where I can maybe get the farm built. At minimum, they're on leads, and I can just motherfucker. See, right here's a future elevator. Nobody's listening to anyone, so don't really matter, does it? Being without light, can we? eggs. That might be enough. We'll see. What's in here? There. That. There. Thought I just slept. Okay. Get a saddle. What you do too now? Okay, I need to stop. I'm getting sidetracked from what my goal is.
But you can literally use anything you like. And once that's done, we're gonna go down again and remove the temporary dirt blocks. We don't need them anymore. Next, place down trapdoors under the building blocks we just made, because this way the gap in between is gonna be so small that even baby chickens can't get out. Now it's time to actually get the chickens into the farm. To do that, all we need to do is go on top of the farm and then just throw a bunch of eggs into the hole. If you want and have enough eggs, you can spawn as many of these baby chickens as you like. More is of course always better, but technically you really only need 2 and then can breed your chicken population out of those. Anyway, once you have enough baby chickens in the farm, you're now gonna place fences like this here and remove the top layer of the building blocks around them. This way, none of the chickens can get out on top, but you can still access all of them. The way this farm works is incredibly simple. All you gotta do is bring a bunch of seeds and then feed them to the chickens to breed them, like I do right here, and for this breeding process, you will then gain experience. Because of the fact that there's a limit on how many chickens can stand on one block at the same time, this means at some point your breeding will fill up this chicken chamber so much that some of them will start dying automatically, which will then in turn produce feathers and meat for you at the same time. Of course, just breeding a couple of chickens is not going to give you massive amounts of levels, but hey, who said you only have to build one of those chambers? You can essentially just copy-paste this entire farm as often as you want, and at some point, all that breeding is going to give you a ton of levels. By the way, you can of course also build this whole farm with any other type of animal. I just think that chickens are the easiest because they only need seeds to breed, and it's also super easy to get them into the farm by just throwing in some eggs. Place down slabs, and around the slabs, we're gonna make one ring. Exaggerating. Here's my ultra simple chicken XP farm.
Well, guess we're gonna build a chicken XP farm. Most people don't have any in there. more eggs for me. Two eggs is all. Y'all really need to step your game up. Looks like I'm going to Duketown. Chickens. We'll pick one more time. That should be enough to work with that minimum. Okay. Looks like a nice place right here.
These are the materials that we need, and now let's go. The way we build this is very easy. We start out by placing down a double chest and then 4 hoppers all pointing into the chest. On top of these hoppers, we're now going to place down slabs and around.
Okay.
around the slabs, we're gonna make one ring of temporary blocks. Personally using dirt for this. Now, on top of these temporary blocks, we're now going to place 2 layers of normal building block. I personally use wood for this, but you can literally use anything you like. And once that's done, we're gonna go down again and remove the temporary dirt block. We don't need them anymore. Next, place down trapdoors under the building blocks we just made, because this way the gap in between is going to be so small that even baby chickens can't get out. Now it's time to actually get the chickens into the farm. To do that, all we need to do is go on top of the farm and then just throw a bunch of eggs into the hole. If you want and have enough eggs, you can spawn as many of these baby chickens as you like. More is of course always better, but technically you really only need 2 and then can breed your chicken population out of those. Anyway, once you have enough baby chickens in the farm, you're now going to place fences like this here and remove the top layer of the building blocks around. This way, none of the chickens can get out on top, but you can still access all of them. The way this farm works is incredibly simple. All you gotta do is bring a bunch of seeds and then feed them to the chickens to breed them, like I do right here, and for this breeding process, you will then gain experience. Because of the fact that there's a limit on how many chickens can stand on one block at the same time, this means at some point, your breeding will fill up this chicken chamber so much that some of them will start dying automatically, which will then in turn produce feathers and meat for you at the same time. Of course, just breeding a couple of chickens is not going to give you massive amounts of levels, but hey, who said you only have to build one of those chambers? You can essentially just copy-paste this entire farm as often as you want, and at some point, all that breeding is going to give you a ton of levels. By the way, you can of course also build this whole farm with any other type of animal. I just think that chickens are the easiest because they only need seeds to breed, and it's also super easy to get them into the farm by just throwing in some eggs. And by the way, if you could leave a quick like for the video, that would be super nice because it helps me big time with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much for your support. Okay, so the next farm on today's list is actually a 2-in-1 pack, but they're not only great for experience, they also give you infinite bone meal, emeralds, and fuel for your furnaces at the same time. I'm gonna show you both now, starting out with a kelp XP farm, for which we need these materials right here to build it. First of all, we start out by placing a row of smokers. You can really make it as long as you want. I personally, in this example, am just gonna use 8. Then, on top of these smokers, we're gonna place a row of hoppers through which we're later gonna fill them up. And naturally, that of course means we're also gonna make a second row of hoppers behind them through which we're gonna fill them with fuel. For this fuel, you're now gonna place a row of chests or barrels on top of the back hoppers and fill them up with coal, lava buckets, or whatever your heart desires. On the left and the right side now, we're gonna build 2 small walls to just, close up the whole design on the sides. Up next, place a row of chop slabs over the chests that we put the coal in a way that you can still open and access them. You're then going to place a second row of hoppers, just like this. Next, place another row of building blocks on the back like you see right here, followed by one more on top of that. The whole thing should now somewhat look like this. On top of this little wall, we're now going to place one row of pistons with the wooden side facing towards the front. On top of these pistons, we're now going to position one row of observers, with the observer part also pointing to the front and the redstone end to the back. You can now close up the whole walls to the side again. Up next, we need a little bit of redstone, but don't worry, it's very darn simple. Just make another row of building blocks like this under the observers, and then place one line of redstone on top to connect all the observers with the pistons. Just as a quick side note here, when we build sugarcane farms, which are very similar, we usually do it the other way around to make it that each observer can trigger each piston individually and not all at once. However, in a kelp farm, this individual piston triggering would make it that the farm at some point just stops working. It's got to do with how kelp works, and I don't want to get too much into the details here. Just saying, for kelp farms, we want to make sure that all pistons get always triggered at the same time. Finally, we place one more layer of normal building blocks on top, and technically, you could now fill it up with water, place the kelp, and be finished. For the sake of this video though, I'm quickly also going to show you how you can expand the farm even further. All you've got to do is repeat the beginning steps by placing another row of building blocks on the back, followed by a small wall onto which you, again, will place down the pistons, followed by the observers, close the walls to the side, put the redstone on the back, and so on and and so forth. If you want, you can technically give your farm as many layers as you like. For this video though, I'm gonna keep it at 3. And this right here is how the farm would look like with 3 layers. Now, all we gotta do is fill in water at the top of the farm like I show right here, and then we can start placing our kelp at the bottom of the pistons for all 3 layers. To avoid that your farm becomes an absolute mess like this one, we're now also gonna give it a nice glass front so that the water doesn't run out. As the last step then, we're going to put a roof on top, for which I personally use slabs so that no monsters can spawn on top of here. This farm now bulk produces a bunch of kelp, which will be automatically picked up by the hoppers and filled into the smokers, which turn it into dried kelp. When you then take it out of the furnace, you will not only gain experience for it, but you can turn that dry kelp also into kelp blocks, which in and of themselves are again great fuel for all types of furnaces. Now, while this kelp XP farm is nice and dandy, there is one big problem with it. That is that kelp gives barely any experience. To be more precise, for each kelp that you take out of the furnace, you're only gonna get 0.1 XP. However, what most players don't know is that there's a much more efficient way to cook items for experience, which especially
What I really need is a mob experience farm. I mean, this is definitely cool. I think the chickens are like somehow sticking together or something. I don't know. Got some eggs collecting. Okay. So. Leftover dirt away. Need to make some books. Let's go make some books. There's some hides. Some, there's some. There's some. Give me all the books. Leftover stuff's in there. Maybe get some enchanting books. So let's just see what shows up. Oh, I definitely need way more experience. Don't even need that. Dude. Let's start a new chest just for weapons in disrepair. Plus, I got a better one in here anyway. Oh, what did I write down in my notes? Wrote down a bunch of ideas last night. I could build a dripstone farm. I don't really need dripstone at the moment. Look up a villager breeder.
All new Kinder Joy collections with 22 new unicorn-inspired surprises.
With One Main Financial, I was able to get immediate relief.
Here's how to build the easiest and most compact villager breeder in Minecraft Bedrock Edition.
Well, I know I have all that, so 6 beds. We'll just collect all the wool that I have laying around. Six beds, 4 blocks, 4 trapdoors, 3 slabs, 2 workstations, 2 villagers, and a water bucket. The villagers, that's going to be difficult. In all honesty, I should probably figure that out before anything else. Doubt I have any more. I guess so. A lot of fucking white wool. I didn't even realize. Sand is in there. That belongs down there. So, guess I should look up on seed map where the nearest village is. Because village. So I need to build an area to trap them in while this thing. I'll build it over here somewhere. This is about to be a major suck ass adventure. Oh man, I'm bummed. A boat, I think, is the lyrics to that song. I'm on a boat, bitch. Okay, so where's the horses? Guess we're taking Padme out. It's kind of slow. Is that Ted? Yes, it is Ted. How fast are you? But damn, you're pretty quick. chickens everywhere now. Of course. Yeah, that's what I thought. This village is all but abandoned. Lobby down. This is like a trip down memory lane right here. This is the very first small bridge that I built when I was trying to make my way to oops. Yep. There's always pretty horses that spawn over here. But whenever I first started this world, I looked over in this direction. I saw that mountaintop and was like, I'm gonna build a base there. So I came over and worked my way, made myself a path of torches. Then I started, actually built this whole path. Going all the way up there. Getting off my horse. But yeah. And inside of there, it's actually like, oh shit, sorry buddy. I have, I think, 4 levels to that base. But it's all inside of the mountain. There's like a temporary shelter right here under. And then once I got all the way down here, it was just proving to be way too much of a hassle. So I just said screw it and went and found a stronghold. And as soon as, well, I went and found what I call my cherry base, which means, I forgot, there is a village over this way. See if Ted can survive all of this. Of course, there's 75 million chickens running around that. Couldn't be bothered to exist whenever I was looking for chickens. Come on, Ted. You can do it. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a damn... really could have swore there was a village over here. I don't know if that's it or not. That might be. Need you to stay right here, Ted. I'll take your paper just because I'm an asshole. I could swear. Man, I'm about 10 seconds from stealing y'all's horse. Yeah, I ain't that far away. Shit. Okay, so how do we do this? You, hey, go that way. We're realizing that moving the boat will be a lot easier than trying to push a couple of villagers around. Ooh, I want that horse. So, hmm, or chew. Okay. And you. Hey, hey, butthead, quit. What are you doing? You're supposed to go towards the boat. Get in the, not in the fucking water. cool beans. So I wonder. Oh, this is gonna be so meticulous. I've done worse. I did worse the other day. The other day, I drug 3 armadillos over 4,500 some bitch. Both of y'all can just... It's easier to walk. It's still there? Yep. Come on, Ted. You're definitely one of my You're definitely my fastest horse. Well, I think. Really, dude? Oh, we're damn near home free. You can go. These dickweeds. Come on. Fucker. Damn it, Ted. We're just gonna ride you. That's how it's gonna be. Here, Ted. Hang it. Okay. Come this way, please. Feeling I'm gonna be cutting down a couple of trees. I planted too many. Of course, there's stray chickens everywhere. That's what happens when you accidentally break a shitload of eggs. Okay. No, that was fun. Now I gotta get them. Shit. There. Y'all can stand there for a few minutes. While I go gather the rest of what I need to make y'all breed. Okay. So thing needing done number 1 over. Need to put my deep stones away. I don't even know how I got more white wool, but okay. I'll take those beds. We need some more. Need 6 beds total, so got wool. Let's get some wood. Three, 4. Yeah, that should work. That away. That away. We'll put the paper away. Okay. 4 blocks. It shows him using grass. So we'll go ahead and use glass too. Need 4 trap doors. Three slabs. That's an odd number. Wonder why only 3. Two workstations. Okay, well. I'll get some planks, some coal, some iron. Iron. Planks. Just a few pieces right there. Okay. Make a smithing table. Oh, I guess it's... we'll grab a crafting table there. Fuck it. Forgot I put the coal, not enough fuel that I put into the random unsorted shit, of course. Okay, I got 2 villagers. Now I just need a water bucket, which I've got plenty out there. Okay. Leave my villagers alone, asshole. Oh, fucking creepers. Gonna do any terraforming, but considering I had an asshole decide to blow up, need to. There. Okay. Well, I need a water bucket. And the water bucket. Okay.
This villager breeder is super compact, doesn't take up a lot of space, so you're not going to need a very big area to build it. To start off, what you want to do is take any temporary block, does not matter, place 6 of them down like that, with 3 beds on top. You can then go ahead and break all those temporary blocks. And then place beds underneath. I'm stacking these beds on top of each other to save space, although you don't have to have them stacked on top. You could pretty easily just have 6 of them lying down. Now again, you don't have to do it right beside these beds, but I'm going to do it just to save space. You want to go ahead and break a 3x3 square in the ground, and then go ahead and make that square 2 blocks deep. Now place 1 temporary block right there with a slab on the top of it like that, and then go ahead and place 2 more slabs up just like that. You then want to take a bucket of water and place it down right there, and then you want to break the blocks on this opposite side until the water stops flowing. So my water stops flowing right here, and then you can go ahead and just make yourself a nice little, and then go ahead and make that square 2 blocks deep. Now place 1 temporary block right there with a slab on the top of it like that.
I need slabs.
And then go ahead and place 2 more slabs up.
2 more up. 1, 2.
Just like that. You then want to take a bucket of water and place it down right.
Water. Like that.
There. And then you want to break the blocks on this opposite side until the water stops flowing. So my water stops flowing right here. And then you can go ahead and just make yourself a nice little area for the villagers to sit. Now I would recommend covering this area up. Of course, it doesn't have to be glass, and you even don't have to cover it up. I'm just
Well, if it's a good idea to cover it up, I probably want to cover it up.
doing this to make sure that when the villagers sit in here, no zombies at nighttime run up and end up killing all of our villagers. The next thing you want to do is place one temporary block right there, another one on top, and then go ahead and place 4 pieces of glass here. Again, this does not have to be glass. I'm just doing it because I think it looks a lot nicer. Now you want to place 2 workstations. I'm going to use composters, but you can use whatever you want. And again, you can place them pretty much wherever they want. It's not a very specific farm, but I'm going to place one beside the bed right there, and then one beside...
Station here. The other one. Yeah.
The bed right there as well. The next thing you want to do is take your 4 trapdoors and place them on the side of these blocks here. And the reason we do this is so when the villagers actually spawn, they are able to walk over the edge. They think it's a full block, walk down into the water, and then they get pushed down.
This is one reason why I like just building random shit. Not only is it good for learning, but not only is it good for learning. Yep. Okay.
Over here. Now the final thing we have to do is actually get 2 villagers inside of here. So the first thing I recommend doing is making a staircase to get up. Now the easiest way to that
Yeah, is correct. Let's get rid of a little bit of this so it's less cramped right here. Okay.
I find to get them inside is with a pretty simple rail system, although you can really do it however you want. But all you have to do is push them up, and then once he gets up to about here, just walk over, punch it out, and then try to push him into the hole as quick as possible to make sure that he doesn't walk over here. And like I mentioned, you want to get 2 of them inside of here. So here's our second villager, and
So Definitely don't want monsters fucking with us while we're trying to get the villagers and supposedly the easiest way to do this. Get some rails. Stone to power the rails. Guess I need to eat. That'd be handy if I actually had a cart. Do I have one in here available? Nope. Right there. Yep. You're gonna make it difficult for them to. You can go over. Where'd you go? Come on. No. Okay. No, damn it. Shit. Some bitch. No. No. Okay. Plan B. Boat leaks. Okay. If you're not gonna go willingly, I will find a way. fucking... Hey, son of a... Ah. Damn it. No, hey, what? You dick. Where you at? Dude. The struggle is real, y'all. I don't know why you're... What are we going for? But if I can push you off of that, end of that, we might be getting somewhere. Okay. Try this again. Yay! Holy shit. Okay. One more. Never done this before. So... First time trying to create a move village. Shit, it's my first time trying to move villagers, period. Yet alone into a damn minecart to push on top of a hole. Okay, let's see if we can go 2 for 2. Hopefully this will work. Yay! Holy shit, it worked. Okay, let's see what to do now.
I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just push him up here. And then once he gets within the area, just kind of shove him over the hole, punch it, and hope he falls in. If he doesn't fall in like this, kind of annoying, just repeat the process. All right, so let's try this again. I'm going to push him in. Once he gets close, just kind of push him over top and punch it out and hope he falls in. There we go. And now, of course, since you have your 2 villagers inside, you can go ahead and break whatever system you use to get them inside. Using the villager breeder is very simple. You're either going to need some carrots, bread, or potatoes. And of course, the more you throw in, the more babies that are going to come out. So I'm going to throw a stack in. All you have to do is walk up to it, throw it on top of them, and then eventually you should start to see the hearts coming up. And then once they do come, a villager will eventually pop out, walk over the trapdoors into the water, and then be pushed down inside of this area. Okay, and there's the baby. I don't know if you can see him, but he is sitting right there. And then like I mentioned, eventually the baby will walk over and then be pushed down to our area here. Might get stuck for a second here, but eventually they'll stop jumping and they will be pushed over. And as you can see, they've already started breeding with more. And of course, if you see them stop doing this, you can go ahead and just throw some more food in. And perfect, there we go, straight to our collection area. With that...
Okay. guess. This is temporary. Hey, I just need... Hey, I happen to have a shitload of carrots. So, that is exactly what we're gonna do after I get a few things put away. There you go. Still have iron, but okay. Just because I really don't want to fall in again. Take all of it? Get to banging, y'all. Fuck. How'd you? Uh-uh. We ain't having that shit. No way, Jose. You gonna think that's a full... Yep. Oh. It works. That stray child, poor thing. Maybe when you're an adult, I'll have a chance at getting you in there. How? Like... You're just gonna have to live, kid. Are all my chickens still down here? Yep, the original 4 down there. Chickens are glitching out like crazy. How that thing got down there, I've got no idea. But I guess they're gonna have a chicken live with how? Like, where did... Right there. Just because y'all are annoying. Y'all are just gonna have a mad amount of chicken and children. Okay. It's 8 o'clock. That means it's time for me to get off, because I gotta leave tomorrow, so I gotta get everything in my hotel room packed up and put away, ready to go in the morning. So, until next time, you guys, chill. I guess we'll just catch you next time. Probably gonna be tomorrow, if I get home in time. If not, it'll be the day after. Well, catch y'all later.